Hi, I'm Diane Kometa, and today on Dishin with Di, I'm making my old-fashioned pancakes. These are really simple to make, they're absolutely delicious, and they're guaranteed to be a sure winner on your breakfast table. So let's get started on Dishin with Di. You need some all-purpose flour, some baking powder and salt, some granulated sugar, some unsalted melted butter, some eggs at room temperature, and some milk. You also need some non-stick cooking spray or some vegetable oil, just something to grease your pan. So preferably with your pan, you want a non-stick skillet, or today I'm going to be using this electric griddle. So this is great when you're making big batches. So when I make this for a group of people, I like to have a nice big surface to work on so I can kind of bang them out all at once. So the first thing that we're going to do is combine our dry ingredients. So into a big bowl, you want to add your baking powder and salt and your granulated sugar. Now I'm just going to whisk this together really well. You want to make sure this is very well incorporated. All right, now just set that aside, and now your eggs, just lightly whisk those, and I just take a fork and just kind of whisk those together real quick. And now into the milk, add the eggs, and then add that melted unsalted butter. And whisk that together thoroughly. Now make sure with the melted butter that it's not too hot. So, pop it in your microwave or on your stove if you want to melt it down, but don't take it right off the heat and dump it in here, okay? So just let it cool down just a little bit. And then just give that a real good whisk. Now, if you want to, this is the point where I add a little tiny bit of vanilla extract, and it just gives it just this little, I don't know, just something special. You don't have to add it though, but try it sometime. It's really good. So just whisk that all together, and now we're just going to combine the two. It's so simple. So I usually make like a little well in my pancake dry mixture and just dump this right in. The whole thing all at once. And then you're just going to quickly, but not too rough, you're going to mix this together. So you just want it to be combined, and it's okay if there's some lumps in there or you see like a little bit of flour, and it's going to kind of foam up. So it's going to puff up a bit. Here, take a look. You see what's happening? See how it's got a lot of bubbling? That's that baking powder in there mixing in with everything. Now I'm going to stop mixing it right here. So now on my griddle, I'm going to spray it with this non-stick spray. And I use an ice cream scoop. This is a 1/4 cup scoop. So you can use a 1/4 cup measure, or you could use a ladle or whatever you want. But this way I know exactly how much I have. And you see how light and fluffy that looks? Like it's like real pillowy looking in there, okay? So take that and put it right onto your griddle. And look at them. They're gorgeous. They're going to be so light and puffy. Now you just want to cook these for about 2 to 3 minutes on this side, and then what's going to happen is on the top you'll start to see like a couple bubbles burst, and the edges will start to get a little dry, and just lift up with your spatula, and then it's going to be time to flip it. Okay, so a couple bubbles burst on the top of each one, and I just kind of peeked under, and it looks nice and brown, and the edges are starting to get dry. So I'm going to scoop under and flip it over. Look at that, beautiful, right? Okay, and look how they're like puffing up. They're absolutely gorgeous. Just keep an eye on them, and maybe like 1 to 2 minutes on this side. 2 quick tips. First tip, a make ahead tip. Take all of your dry ingredients, mix that together, and then put it into a plastic bag and write yourself a note of how many servings are in there. Then when you're ready to make your pancakes, all you have to do is get your wet ingredients and then proceed as normal. Now, second tip. If you have extra pancakes left over, don't throw them out. Take some wax paper or parchment paper, trim that, and then layer the pancakes in between the waxed or parchment paper, and then wrap that in plastic, put it into a freezer-safe bag, and then pop it into your freezer for future use. Put them into the toaster or into the microwave when you're ready to use them. So it's a perfect breakfast for a busy day for you or your kids or whoever. So I hope that helps you out. Okay, now I just took that first batch off, and what I'm doing is I'm putting these on a baking sheet, and I'm going to put some aluminum foil right over top like this, and I have my oven preheated to 225 degrees. So I'm just going to take them and put them in the oven. Now, I don't always do that. If I have a whole bunch, then I have to do that because I'm not going to be able to give, each person just one pancake. So if you don't have a whole big batch, just serve them out like right away. But if you want to keep a bunch of them warm, just pop them into your oven and they'll stay warm while you continue to make them. Okay, they are done, and I am having the first pancake before anybody else gets to them. Maybe I'll have two. Just put them on my plate. And my husband always likes it with like a big pat of butter on it. So this is what I usually do. I'll put something like this on the table and I slice the butter up so that way each person can just take the butter that they want. But I don't usually put butter on mine. I just put the syrup on. Now today I have some maple syrup, but I also have a pumpkin syrup recipe that you might really like. And sometimes I also put some whipped cream on there when it's like an extra special holiday. And you could go take a look at how I do that on my French toast. I think I do that on my pumpkin pancake video too, so you can look at that. But this is absolutely delicious. Take a look at this. Let me just cut into these. And look, you see how thick they are? They're absolutely delicious. Let's get a bite of that. They're so light. I'm telling you, that little tiny bit of vanilla, just that little speck, makes all the difference. So do try that. It's something different, you don't usually see that. And I just started doing that recently. I don't know what came over me. I just said, you know what? I put it in my French toast. I wonder what it would taste like in my pancakes. So I put a couple drops in and it's absolutely delicious. So the recipe, along with all my other recipes, is on my website, dishinwithdi.com. So go over there and don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up and like my video. I'm going to be coming out with some blueberry muffins too in my next episode, so keep an eye out for that too. I look forward to seeing you next time, and I hope I made your life a little easier, more enjoyable, and delicious. Bye-bye now.